Hi there guys, this is Farmer Bob. Welcome back to my channel, man. Great to be back, guys, with another video. I believe this is episode number 7, if I'm correct, of the Giants editor, or not the Giants editor, sorry man, the Durango FS19 to FS22 map conversion series. And I've really had a lot of fun and a lot of things that I really enjoyed in this series so far. So I really appreciate all you guys watching, appreciate your likes and your subscriptions. If this is your first time, yeah, thanks so much for joining, and do remember to hit that subscribe button while we're at the topic, and yeah, just enjoy it with us. So sit back and relax, guys. Here we go. In this episode, guys, we're going to tackle the density files, bring all the density files over. There's actually only 5 of them, so we're going to do them one at a time and test and check, and because it's important to do them one at a time and see that you don't have errors and problems. All right, so in order to do that, obviously we need to close the original, close the FS22 version, and then we're going to go into Durango, the converted map from Giants editor. So I've converted the FS19 map into Giants editor with the Giants converter, which never works, by the way. I always say that, but that does give us some nice peace of mind, and there is some stuff that works better, or at least works a little bit, although the map doesn't work, you know. So yeah, that's why we manually convert the maps. Alright, so cultivated density, that is your density map ground in FS22. So we're going to do that one first and see. So I'm going to drop this straight onto the GLE converter, onto the convert command, and hope and pray that it does convert, because if it doesn't convert, you have a huge problem, which means that you got a cultivated density file that was modified with a multi-terrain ground angle. So if that is your case, you're going to need to find a version of the map that was made before the multi-terrain angle and get its cultivated density file, or you're going to have to redo the whole map the whole map's terrain ground, you know. So yeah, quite a pain if that's the case, but in our case here it is, so very nice and easy, not a problem. Alright, so cultivated density PNG, I'm going to cut that out here, bring it into Durango in the data file, Control V, and now I'm going to find our density map ground. There it is. I'm going to copy this once, Control C, and then put a 1 in front of it just to make a backup of it. So there we go. So now it's out of the system, and we're going to take this one, rename it to the same one. So now the PNG now becomes our actual cultivated density file. But I want to verify now, first of all, if this is the same size. This is 8192, so we need to take this original and just convert that as well. Convert.command, just to see what size is the maps cultivator file, you know. So if it's the same size, then Bob's your uncle, great stuff, you know. Yes, 8192, so that is very nice. So we don't need to do anything to this. All we can do now is just leave it as is, density map ground, and go into our map i3D here, map, right click, open with Notepad++. So this process, guys, what we're doing is now we're converting the cultivated density file into a PNG file. So now we need to find the cultivated density, or the density map. Let's just find density map, density. I forgot about the SI somehow. Forgot about the SI, and that's not the place where we want to be. So here we go. There's the ground. So now all we do is we take that and we make that a PNG, so that the i3D now, instead of looking at the old GDM file, it's going to look at our new image that we've converted. Alright, so we save that just like that, and keep this open, do not close it. Back into here. Now we open the map and we hold thumbs, hold toes, pray and ask that our map will be blessed and that it will be working fine. Because sometimes these things can go horribly wrong and you sit with huge problems. Alright, so let's just wait for the map to open. It shouldn't take that long. So there it is. I think it's going to pop up now. There it is. And immediately you can see all your fields. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. But more important than seeing is to check if there's any errors on the load. So that is our shader that we all know about. That's a normal error. So there's no errors. Do check if you have got no errors. Save the map. If you have any errors here, close the map without saving and fix the error first. Come back. Once there's no error, then you save. Because the moment you save with that cultivator error, it will actually delete your info layer from the i3D. Then you can chuck your map, because then the info layer is gone. Or you're going to have to reinstall the whole info layer into the map i3D, which is a total mess up. And you can hope and pray that you've made a backup. So I will solely suggest do make a backup before you do any of these things. If you start working with converting density files, make a backup of your map first and then do whatever you want to do. Alright, so I'm very chuffed with this. This is so nice. It worked out lekker. So we're going to save. And now when we save, guys, it's going to recreate for us a new density file. So you're going to see that now once we finish exporting here at the bottom. Just that. Oop, 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 oop. Come. There you go. All done and dusted. Now we're going back into our data folder. Let me just maximize this, and it's actually better. Density map ground. That's the PNG. And there's the new GDM that it's created. So now the PNG and the old original we can delete. Just like that. And very important, come back to the i3D, say yes because it's been saved, and take the PNG back to a GDM. So most people forget this process. I've mentioned that in the previous video. This is the most important part of the process, to come back into the i3D and rename the PNG back to GDM. Because now the map is now created you a new GDM or GRLE if you've been working with the info layers. Then it must now be changed back to GDM. So you have to do that. Alright, and then save. Keep this open because we're going to do the other density files now. Alright, so now back into our donor map, or our map that we are converting from. So as I said, there's 5 density files that we need to do. The cultivator density or density map ground is the first one. And now the density map fruit is probably the one with the most issues. Alright, so this one, it really is a problem. So what we want to do now, before we start converting, we want to take a look at this map's R3D. So I think for that, let's go to the original map, the FS19 map of Durango. Let's open this up because we want to see the layer order of the density, the foliage, because the density map fruit, or the what do you call that thing now, is a density map fruit. It's Durango map DU fruit density map, the fruit density.gdm. This file has got different layers, and each layer represents a fruit, so if that order is wrong, you're going to have grass growing where there should have been corn, or oat growing where there should have been grass. That type of stuff is going to happen. So if your stuff is confused on your map in the wrong places, know that your order is wrong. Okay, so that is what we're going to first have a look at. And in order to do that, we want to go into the i3D, and you want to type in foliage. No, not foliage, multi-lay. You type in multi-lay, just like that, multi-lay. Hit enter, and you're right there where you need to be. Now, what I'm saying, guys, This channels here is all the foliage on the map, and that is your density map. So all these things are in order. So this is channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, channel 5, channel 6, channel 7, you know, so it goes down like that. So if your order here is not in the wrong, if it's not the same in your new map, then you're going to have a problem with your density file. So all we're going to do here is search for the same thing, multi-lay, like that. And here you can immediately see our order is already wrong. Okay, so we need to change this order to this order. So we start with wheat, grass, canola, barley. Alright, so we need to put wheat first. So take that up, Control X. Alright, go in here, press home, Control V. So put wheat first. Alright, grass, canola, barley. I hope I can remember. So then it's grass. Alright, Control X, Control V, canola, Control X, Control V, and then barley, Control X. And this is nice that this map has got multi-fruit, because now I'm going to show you now what to do with multi-fruit. You can see it's got more fruit on the other map. Alright, so don't worry about it. So it's wheat, grass, canola, barley, and then maize. It's wheat, grass, canola, barley, and then maize. Maize. Where's the maize? Did I miss it? Help me, guys. I can't see the maize. Oh, there's maize. Oh, it's right in front of my eyes. Control X, Control V. So that's maize. And then we want grass SA. Ooh, problem. Alright, grass SA. Potato. Okay, guys, I've got a problem now. We first need to add grass SA, because remember the grass on this map is modified. It's not standard grass. So, okay, so we're going to first need to add some foliage types to this map. Alright. So in order to do that, we're going to have to start over, unfortunately. Not over, but we're gonna trash this thing that we're busy with. Mind you, I wonder what other things are in here. Is it just the grass? Is decoration, green bush, decoration, dry bush, dry grass. Yeah, you see, dry grass and dry bush is also stuff. Forest bush and forest grass is also stuff that I don't recognize. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, let's start here by grass SA. Control C. I'm going to copy this in and add it here. Control V. Right, guys. After much deliberation or much thought and wondering what to do, I've actually thought I'll go through a process and take you along through the whole thing. So what I've basically got here, as you saw in our previous thing, is got too much extra fruit at the moment for the map. So what we need to do then, I've already applied the settings for the 64 extra fruits, but the hassle with that now is obviously our GDM file doesn't support that yet, because we have to recreate it, and at the moment all these fruits are in a mess. so it's like the chicken and the egg situation. We have to first do the one thing, but the other thing had to be done first, you know. So what I was thinking now then is just to, instead of trying to add the 64 fruit first, let me first just get the basic GDM file right with the 10 extra fruits and work with that, because it has got a GDM that's got 10 extra fruits at the moment, you know. So let's just quickly go back to the sixes on that, so we can get back to the normal 10 extra fruits. And all I need to do is change all these to, that was a 12 and it was a 6. Alright, so that basically covers all that. And then what we're going to do now, obviously just save. I can't save there because I'm still in the map here. I'll just close this, save it up just so that we can reopen. And now, what I was thinking actually, I just want to first get rid of some of the errors. And the key, like I've said a few times already in this video, is do not save your map when you've opened it. Because if something is wrong in there and you save the map, that some of those changes will be permanent. And sometimes it deletes stuff like your ground textures and all kinds of things can be deleted if you save. You have to open your map without errors. So before you can save it. All right, so here we go. Let's just go back into our Durango map, and here we go. Let's just reopen it now. And when I say save the map, I'm not talking about the i3D. You can do the changes you make at this point is all in the i3D in the text editor, not here in Giants editor. And that's what I'm saying. Don't save your map here in Giants editor until all the errors has been resolved. If you save it with one error there and it's the wrong error, you will lose stuff in the i3D, you know. So let us quickly have a look where we are. This is our building shader, which is not a problem. Shader errors won't give you well, it can actually give you a problem if it's an error, sometimes like your terrain shader, like for instance an error that says cannot find the terrain shader. If you save your map and there's an error that says cannot find the terrain shader, it will remove that line for the terrain shader out of your i3D, and then your map doesn't work anymore. That type of thing, you know. That's why a lot of guys, oh, my map, once I've saved it, I can't open it anymore, or it crashes or whatever, and that's basically your problem there, you know. Don't save here in the editor. Okay, so let's carry on through the errors. So warning here, performance, Grass SA. So let's do them one at a time. That's how you have to tackle these things. So we're going to tackle this first error. It says Grass SA diffuse is in raw format. Now what that means is the diffuse is in PNG format. It should be in DDS. The game works in DDS files, so the only things that works in PNG is your DEM file, basically. I can think of anything else that's working out of PNG. That's basically it. It's only your DEM that's in PNG format. So the rest is DDSs. Anyway, so let's first fix that up. So that's our first error. So what I do is I close up, go to the foliage folder, find grass.sa.png. That's the alpha, diffuse. Here we go. Grass SA, and you can see here that even the alpha is in PNG format. So we have to convert this. But if I recall correctly now, there were two errors. I shouldn't have closed it there for the PNG. Let's just look at the other error. I think it was at something, then we can do both of them at once. So tackle both errors at once. And I think it had to do with the size. There's a size mismatch. And I want to show you this error as well, because this is common errors that you get when you convert stuff, you know. You get these weird errors popping up, and lots of people don't know how to solve them. So I want to show you exactly how to solve them here. All right, so we were working on the Grass SA diffuse. So this is the raw format one, and there it is, diffuse. Please build MIP maps. So there's another error for it. So it needs MIP maps. It will need MIP maps because a PNG does not have MIP maps. So so you're gonna, the DDS got the MIP maps in it. So that when we convert it from raw to DDS, it will automatically have the option to create the MIP maps. So that will be fine. This error is the old shapefile. That's fine. The moment we save that grass dry i3D, it will recreate that for us. So that's not a problem. But there was another one here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm sure there was another error. Oh, here it is. I missed it. It's the second one here. The warning. It says here, width or height does not equal to 2 to the power of n. In other words, or 2 times n, or whatever they call that little up arrow. But what this means is I'm going to show you exactly what that error is. So it's the same Grass SA diffuse. So there's 3 problems in the Grass SA diffuse that we're going to tackle all in one. So let's tackle that. And I suppose it's going to be the same for all the other textures that is in raw format. So where is it now? I'm like confused now. I'm in the right place. It's Mott's Durango, and then it is foliage. There it is. Okay, so grass is a diffuse. Here it is. Let's do one at a time. So we open it in what is this thing's name now? Paint.net. And the first thing you will notice is if you look at the size, how it works is the height is 512 pixels and the width is 4095. So what it means is when you times this 512, it must equal to something times to get to 40 whatever. So in this case, if I take 512 and I divide it into 4,000, it's roughly about 8 of them, 8 times. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 512 times it by 8. So it's going to be 512 times 8, and then we're going to get the correct resolution. So it should be 4096, not 4095. You see, so the guy made a mistake here in the resolution of this texture. So we're going to go image, resize, and we're going to change this 4095 to 4096, like so. All right, keep it 512, keep everything else the same, and we're just going to go OK, and there you go. It should be all right now, that error. Now the next thing was the bitmaps as well as the raw format. Now that's a very simple, so it's a file, save as, and all we're going to do is create a DDS file for it. So we're going to change it to DDS, and then in here DXT3, I'm sure it's the right thing, and there's your tick for bitmaps. You see, so 2 errors we solve here at once. So I'm just going to click OK on this, and now we're going to go close this up, and then we should now have 2 diffusers. So this one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rename this for now, just to make sure that, because it's going to look for Grass SA Diffuse, not Grass SA Diffuse 1. So now we can open the map again and see if our errors are gone concerning the width and the height and the raw format, as well as what was the other thing? There were 3 errors, the bitmaps. That should all now be solved. So let's just see if we've gotten rid of that 3 errors. Great, so almost there, guys, almost there. There's one thing that I couldn't fix yet, but we will get to that later on. Grass SA old shape file, Durango, oh, that's our thing there. Warning, old shape file, that's fine. Durango Grass SA i3D. Okay, warning, grass dry diffuse raw and grass dry diffuse PNG. Alright, so you can see here clearly the grass SA is now solved, but we still have the same thing for grass dry. Okay, so we'll just fix the grass dry. Does the grass dry also have a size problem? I don't see anything regarding the size. I don't see an error, but we will verify that it is 2N format, you know, for the size. But let's go back into the foliage, just quickly fix that problems with grass dry as well as grass SA. So all you do to get rid of the shape file that is old is you just open the i3D of said thing. Grass dry is in raw format. Alright, so it's got the same thing here, and this is grass dry that we need to do now. So let me just let's fix the grass dry first before we sort that out. But let's do the grass SA, the one that we've just fixed now. So we'll get back to grass dry just now. This one should be error free. You see, it's just the warning, the old shape file, and all you need to do is just save it like that, and all is done. The moment you open it now again, it would have recreated the shape file in FS22 format, which will be fine. And there you go. Now we should have one without a problem like that. Good. Now what I want to check here, just for the fun of it, press F. I can already see this thing is not going to work because it looks horrible. But anyway, we will sort this out, and I'm sure it's going to be related to the shader. because as I can see here, it doesn't have a shader for it. So we're gonna figure out what is grass material shader and the correct settings for it, but we'll get back to that just now. At the moment, all we want to do is just cancel this without saving, because we've already saved that. So let's quickly fix the grass dry. So we know now that grass SA diffuse is fine, so we can delete that because we've recreated that. The alpha, we're going to have to open the alpha and also save this as a DDS. Save as DDS, like that, save, okay, just like that, and leave everything as DXT3. I'm sure that should be fine. If you run it through Test Runner, your map, it will tell you what format, if there is a format problem, either DXT5 or DXT3 or DXT1. So it will tell you there, save it rather as DXT3. So if it does give you any problems there, then you'll know you'll have to just do it. But I just leave it as DXT3 there. It should be all right. But if it's not, like I say, it should be fine. All right. So yeah, it is one of those things. So this alpha one, I just want to save it there because we do have the alpha now there. And we did fix the shape file. So let's do the same with the grass dry. So grass dry diffuse, let's open that up. 2048 512. That is definitely correct, because if you times that by 4, you get to 2048. So the size of this is correct. The only problem with this will be it does not have it in DDS format. So save it up like so. Generate the MIP maps for us, and let's be happy chappies. Good stuff. Alright, so we're all done, and now I can just go straight and delete the PNG because I know the previous process has worked. We're going to do the same for its alpha. We're going to get to the alpha just now because we're going to use that to fix the shaders. The alpha gets added to the shader, so I'll show you now how to add the alpha to the whole grass dry R3D, you know. So we get back to that just now. Okay, so that is all right. So there's our alpha now diffuse for grass dry, and let's open this up now, and now we should have no errors in it except for the shape file. Obviously it will give us an alt shape file error console, and we should be able to save this up. Warning, old shapefile, that's it. Save it up, close it up, and all will be well. Now, what we're going to do now is have a look at the in-game maps. I'm going to go into Farming Simulator 22, data, foliage, and then find grass, grass, and let's just have a look at the grass in here, what the shader is for grass, so we can just see what FS22 shader is for grass, you know. Great, so I'm gonna go in here, we can close that up. Field grass, just open this up, bring one of the okies up, and then here we go, open up the material editing, and then at custom shader, you hold your mouse there. It's the fruit growth foliage shader, and there's no variation, and down below you will find your alpha. That's the wind noise, and then you have the alpha up there. So we're going to add the alpha here. Alright, so that's how simple it is, guys. So it's the fruit growth shader that we need. So we're going into grass dry first of all. Open it up. And you're going to see, you're going to notice the changes in the actual textures. I'm going to zoom in a little bit just to get closer to what we're working with, so you can actually see what happens, you know. So we're going to go grab the one, and immediately you can see here, oh, I forgot to check what the normal is, if there is a normal for grass. There might be a normal. I think I better just verify that quick before I forget. So let's go back to FS22. There must be a normal, and it's going to be something like per default normal or something like that, you know. So yeah, it's possible. I don't want to sound crazy, but there it is. Grass normal. Okay, so it's a data foliage grass normal. All right, and this one is data foliage grass diffuse. So we have our diffuse for the grass dry, but we need a normal for it. So it is data foliage grass normal. All right, so easy peasy. Right, so into our i3D now. This is the grass dry i3D, and now we just assign it. It's already got our foliage in there, the grass dry diffuse, the one we've just changed. And don't worry about this, guys, because you're going to see it shows PNG there, so don't get confused with it. Though the editor works in a .png, the actual texture is in DDS. It must be DDS, otherwise it won't work. Durango, foliage, and then find grass dry diffuse. Was it? You see, grass dry diffuse DDS. See, there it is. So it's in a real DDS file, not the PNG as it shows there in the directory. So just leave it as B, and then we're going to go to the normal map, find a normal for it. And we know where the normal is. It's in Farming Simulator 22 data, and then foliage, and then grass, and grass normal. There it is. So we open the normal for it and click OK. The current selected shape does not provide the following vertex attributes required by the current material tangent. Okay, so stuff wasn't built into this by default. So let us just see if we just remove it. It might be that the shader is messing us around, but let's have a look. So if we add the shader now to it, we know that's in data shaders and fruit growth foliage shader. There it is. It was none. And then what we're going to do now is just check here. That's the wind noise. That's fine. That gives you little bending to the grass when the wind blows. And then this one is the alpha for it. Now we're going to change the alpha because this is a custom alpha. So we're going to go to our map, obviously, which is under mods, Durango, foliage, and then grass dry. We are on grass dry, are we? Yeah, grass dry alpha. Grass dry alpha. There it is. So we open that one, click OK, and there you go. You see, looking much better. Just starting to look like grass. Okay. All right, so we're not going to add a normal to it, but let's try. Let's just have a look what happens if we chuck a normal in there now. Because what the normal does, it gives the texture 3D capabilities. In other words, it gives it little bumps and things that makes it look 3D, you know. So if the normal doesn't work, I see the bush one's got a normal, but we don't have grass dry normal. So we have grass dry, Durango, foliage. I see there's a... Oh no, this is from my multi-foot back, man. Okay, I was just confused now. I was going to say, what is going on here? Alright, so let's go into 22 data, foliage, grass, and then grass normal again. So let's just see what happens if we add the normal this time. Does it still give us the error? No, it doesn't. So it was just a shader thing, you know. And the normal, like I say, it does make a huge difference to your texture. It gives it 3D capabilities. So all your stuff will now be automatically rerouted. So all our grasses in this one should be fine. So we save grass dry. That should all be okay. And now we can do the same for where's our foliage now? Grass SA. So we need to do exactly the same for the grass SA. So that will give us, sort out all those errors for grass dry as well as grass SA. So what we're going to do here, same drill. First add the shader, which is the foliage growth shader. So it's under Farming Simulator 22, the game, data shaders, and then fruit growth foliage shader, like that. And then simply assign here at the bottom at the custom textures a new alpha for it. So we're going to go into our custom folder, which is Durango, foliage, and then now we should have its grass SA, grass FS17 alpha. There it is. So that was the grass dry alpha, and that's the PNG which we can delete. I can actually delete it here. Doesn't have to be in there. So we select the DDS file, click open, and there it is. Too nice, very nice. And then we can select a normal for it as well. Glass map, normal map. Now, if you add stuff here to a shader configuration, say for instance we're adding a normal here, because you you must know when you run your map through Test Runner, it will test your shaders, and if something here, the selection of the diffuse, the gloss map, the normal map, as well as at the bottom the alpha, if any of these are incorrect, it will tell you an error there in the Test Runner log. Oh, you must have one of these configurations for that shader to work properly. And then you just follow the error, and because they will give you some options there. Remove two, remove one, remove two, or add this, or remove that. And then all you can do is take away whatever they say. If they say remove the alpha, you just delete the alpha here. You select it here and delete it, remove it from the list. Change the configuration here, or remove the normal or the gloss map, whatever you need to do in the error list, you just do that, what they say. Alright, so there you go. So now we should have the same drill on. Oh, we didn't add the normal. I wanted to add the normal. I've been talking too much. Okay, here we go. Alright, so back to Farming Simulator 22 data, foliage, grass. And we're using FS22 normal for it, just to give it that, that little bumpiness there. And save. Boop, and there you go. Now if we open our map now, we should have only the last area remaining, which is the critical one, which I'm going to jippo it for now, just to get my GDM saved, you know, so we can create the extra channels and everything to move forward with the whole map building project, you know. So what I'm going to do, if the error, well, the error will still be there, but we'll have a look now what we're ending up with now. So console, and like I say, do not save until the map is error free. That one is fine, we don't worry about that. Warning, that is an in-game warning, and then error. Okay, so this is what we struggle with now, is this error here. It says here that fruit.png, it's our density map fruits. Now this is the one that we're adding extra channels to, but which we have been fooling around with now, adding deco foliage and adding bush and all the other ones that were in the map already, you know. It doesn't have all required vertex for material dry bush. Alright, so dry bush LODO4 material. So we have to have a look at dry bush. Now, dry bush in this thing, so I'm not going to save, I'm just going to close because we still have that one error. Now, what's going to happen now, if we look at dry bush here in foliage, here's dry bush. Now, dry bush, I wonder if I've ever opened this. Let's have a look. I don't think I've opened this, but let us have a look. It might be a shader thing as well. Okay, dry bush, no errors. So let us have a check. I'm just going to close the console. Oh yes, yeah, you see here, it's got the same issue. You can immediately see this thing is totally crazy looking. It's not even looking like a bush, you know. So we're going to have a look at bush in FS22. So once again, we want to go into foliage, bush, FS22 data foliage. Oh, just for those of you who are wondering, I keep my tabs open here on top. This is my map. This is the converted map with the editor conversion that doesn't work, but I do use a lot of stuff out of it, obviously. And then this one is obviously an extra tab that I've opened with Farming Simulator 22 in, so I can easily quickly jump between everything here on top, you know. So yeah, just to put your mind at ease. And if you're not sure, guys, just pause the video and have a look at the directory tree where I'm at that specific folder, you know. So you can immediately see this is my map because it's the mods folder, and And this one is Steam Maps Farming Simulator 22. It's the game because there's the data folder, you know. So easy peasy. All right, so let's find bush. Now bush, it will be deco bush in FS22, and there's deco bush. All right, so that's the only. It's the same bush, but they obviously have way more bushes in it. Larger bushes and trees and little shrubs and little berry bushes and all kinds of things in FS22. So we're going to open this boy up and have a look at what shader it is using. So we want to get to the shader to just see what the shader is for FS22's deco bush. All right, so in here, so we're going to have a look at, we are looking at dry bush. So dry bush is just a normal bush for FS19. So I'm going to just grab deco bush medium, which I'm sure is probably the same thing. And what we're interested in is here, which shader it is. It's still the fruit growth shader. So there you go. And you can see the variation is seasonal, because I think for this one you can also have the snow mask, if I'm correct. So if you go in here, wind noise, I think it was alpha. Okay, there's no snow in this, but I think there is some snow somewhere. Says Atlas. Snow scale. There we go. Okay, so it's got the snow scale added to it, you know. So you can do the seasonal option in the variation, which will obviously maybe change colors. I think I'm not too sure, but yeah, there it is. It has got a shader for it. So same drill. Let us go. I'm going to keep this one open so we can fly between the two. And once again, dry bush LOD. Yeah, this one has got a normal, remember? So we saw the normal up there. And it's already got a Farming Simulator 22 data fruit growth foliage shader. So what is then the difference here? Why is this here? Let me just see. Okay, so that one actually looks right, or better. I'm just going to go like that. Control Z to bring it back. Let's go seasonal just to see, and then we should have grass flowers color. Grass flowers color, and this one is dry bush LO2 alpha. All right, so I think grass flowers color is the color, custom color that this guy has made for this bush. So let's have a look. Grass flowers color, grass dry. Okay, so it uses this configuration. Okay, yes. Okay, so this is definitely for the bush. All right, and this actual DDS is also, I think, in other FS19 maps. So, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So we just want to verify that all of these guys have got the same settings. This guy has got dry bush LOD, Durango, that's the normal for it. Billboard, let's go seasonal on that, and go down here to the texture. Durango for the dry bush alpha, so that looks good. Yeah, that looks alright. So I'm gonna just leave Control Z for the Z axis. I'll just pull them up to have a look at them because they're all in one spot, you know. So I'll pull them up to have a look, and then I'll just Control Z to drop them down to 0 again. Or you can just 0 the Y, because if you're up here, you can see the Y goes up there. So you can also just 0 the Y there. It's the same thing, you know. Alright, so that one looks correct. So somehow we've got stuff that is not sorted. Dry bush, because we've got this whole thing flagging here on the side, which doesn't look right. That's the alpha. That is our grass flowers, alright. Seasonal, that's alright. Everything looks alright on that one. And this one doesn't look right. Something is a mess here. Yeah, something is seriously wrong there. So let's have a look. What could this be? Dry bush LO2, LOD2. I wonder, there was an error there. Which error was it? It was something about the dry bush LOD. It was one of the LOD things that wasn't correct, but we'll see now. Oh, here we go. It doesn't have a shader, that's why. So, shader source, we know the drill now. In our FS22 directory, deco foliage shader, and variation will be seasonal, and then we supply an alpha for it. It will be, oh, we have to do both these. No, it's this one here, default alpha. Wind noise. The wind noise.ping was changed to custom texture 0 was changed to something else there. So mods, Durango, foliage, and then we go to dry bush alpha. Is it a DDS? Yes, it is a DDS. Dry bush alpha. Open it up. Bloop. Click OK. Bloop. Bring it out. Oh, there's something not nice in there. I can immediately see that doesn't look right. And I wonder now if it is this thing that was that grass flower DDS. Let's have a look. It was just a texture for it. So it must be this. So it's not billboard. None. Seasonal plant rotation. No. Billboard seasonal. So I'm not too sure which one it should be. If we say none, it's just like that. Well, that doesn't look right. So what we're going to need to do now, obviously, is open up the bush in the converted map. So it's desktop Durango. Now this is the FS19 one. So let's check the original just to make sure what the original was like. So it's foliage, grass, it's dry bush that we were working on, and we want to open it in 822. So let's have a look at what was all set in the original so that we can sort of have an idea what we're dealing with in the LOD. So we have dry bush diffuse. We have dry bush bush 01 normal. Okay, so that's the normal we saw. That is fine. And it has the fruit growth foliage shader for that is fine, and no variation. And then just added grass flowers. Alright, so just add grass flowers at the bottom. No alpha. Now I know for a fact if you don't have an alpha in FS22, your bush will not look right. It will definitely look very wrong. So let's just have a check here. So there's nothing really, and that's for dry bush material. So let's just have a check then now in this one here. And we are at another one. We at 155. This one was fine. So it's dry bush 02 under 155 that we have to have a look at. Alright, so 155 dry bush 02. Sorry, I was at totally the wrong thing. So the material for this is dry bush LOD 02 diffuse. Alright, so let's go back here. So let's have a look here at the thingamabobbies. Dry bush LOD diffuse, that's correct. I could have actually should have actually, this is 8.22, that's the right thing. And then that one should be just a normal. Oh, wait a second, that's a different normal. Bush 01 LOD 02 normal. Alright, so let's just go back there. Make sure it's, it is the right normal. Okay, so the diffuser and the normal is right. The shader we know is correct. And this thing should be on billboard, the variation, and then let's just see where we end up. So dry bush LO2, I know we've had it on billboard and I couldn't find a the same setup. It gives me this little thingamabob with a little stick and the branches, which just doesn't look right. And then this alpha, like I say, if you remove the alpha, it's going to be a problem. It needs the alpha to work in FS22. And I wonder if that is the problem. Let us just put default alpha in there. It was Bush alpha. Alright, so let's just go FS22 data foliage. It was Deco Bush, I think. Deco Bush alpha. Let me have a look. Wait a second, it was am I even at the right thing now? I am at the right thing. Yes, Dry Bush 02. Dry Bush 02. So let's go back in there. So it's FS22 data foliage Deco Bush alpha. Let's just have a look what's happening when I pop that up. If something will change here. None. It's still got that same picture there, but I think it's because of the diffuse. The diffuse. And we are at that material. Yep, Dry Bush LO2 LOD02 material. Dry Bush LOD diffuse H. Okay. LOD02 diffuse H. So that is the correct diffuse. Nothing wrong with that. Dry Bush. Dry Bush LOD02 diffuse H. Open up. Okay. It's definitely the right thing. OD normal. And this one will be the same. Bush Durango foliage dry. I don't have a LOD02 normal. Hey? Where did you see that? Let me have a look. Durango foliage Bush 01 LOD02 normal. So it is Durango LOD02 normal. I don't have an LOD02 normal. Wait a second. I mean here, sorry. There it is. I was just gonna say it should be there. It should be there. There it is. LOD02 normal. Okay, so let us have a check back at this point. So this must be it. So there it is. Mods FS22 foliage texture DDS LOD. There's a normal. Oh, here it is, man. LOD02 normal. I've been missing it because it's green. My word. I'm looking for blue. I can't see it. My word. All right. So variation on that was billboard. To be sure, billboard. And I know in FS22 it needs the alpha. So the first custom texture is the thingamabob, the texture which we have rooted. There it is, grass flowers, and this one is the alpha, Deco Bush alpha. Dry Bush, Deco Bush. What if we remove? I just want to start this whole process up again. So if we remove that Dry Bush, if we remove that, we will not really have much to play with. So back to the drawing board, guys. Fruit growth shader, variation none. Billboard. So let me just do this. Mods, Durango, foliage, and then alpha. Dry bush, alpha. So it's definitely this alpha that gives it this little sticks. But I'm not too sure why it is all out of place. It's looking weird. It's just looking weird. Alright. Let's not worry too much about that. Let's carry on with the rest. Oh, I must obviously just put this one back into its place. Zero the thingamabobs. That one there. Just pull it out. That does look alright. Dry bush material. Seasonal. And then this one is the flowers color. And this one has got the bush alpha. This is LO2 alpha, LDO2 alpha. This should be LOD, I think 03, is it? It should be LOD03. Let's have a look. Should be this one, if I'm correct. Let's have a look. Yep, I think that's the correct one there. And then for bush, oops, it's probably 0, this one again. And then bush 03, like so. Boop. We've got the billboard again, which shouldn't be, obviously, because there is no shader. Fruit growth foliage shader. And then LOD3 material, that's fine. First try seasonal. Yeah, I'll leave it on seasonal. Let's just have a look. Wind noise. Check this thing. The alpha. Foliage. 03 alpha. There you go. Looks beautiful. I wonder these textures, if I should leave it just like it is. So we have that texture file. But the texture looks fine to me. But let's just add that texture anyway, because I don't know why it's there, but it was there. And it does give the bush a little bit of a different color, you know. So that's probably the idea behind it, you know. And then we've got 04. The same drill, dry bush material. Seasonal, fruit growth foliage shader. Oh, we forgot to do 03. 0, 03, 04 then. Oh, that's not good. I've actually missed the plot there a bit. I'm not happy with that thing. That thing bothers me. But we'll get to that. Bosch 04 LOD. I think it's the diffuse. The diffuse is wrong. And the alpha, that it's got the wrong setup there for dry bush. Was it 02? But we'll get to that just now. Grass flowers color, that's fine. And this one is dry bush 03. That should be 04, I think. 03, that should be 04 alpha. Open it up. Okay. All right. That is all good. Don't see any problems there. Or any other problems there, rather. All right, so I think we know the drill by now. Add the shader, fruit growth foliage shader. Put seasonal. And add obviously the two little textures from its mods, Durango foliage, this little foliage texture, as well as the alpha for it. This is 04 alpha, grass LOD, dry bush, open. Okay, and let's just bring it up to C. That looks good. Control Z. So the only thing that has got the wrong texture is that bush 02. Which one was it? Dry bush 02, not that one. Dry bush LOD. This is not that one. It's 03. 03. 04. 4. Where's it then gone to now? And now I don't even see that thing. Where is it? There it is, but I can't select it. It's the distance thing. So it's not that one. It's not that one. I think it's this 02. It was this one, I'm pretty sure. Now I'm confused, guys. What is this now? Here it is. Is this strangely things from different, it's the LODs that you can view from different sides. Okay, so let's figure out what is wrong with this thing. There is definitely a problem with this. So let us go to the original, which is FS19, and we're looking at this thing here. So this texture here, dry bush diffuse.png. So let's have a look at that on the original. So that will be here, dry bush diffuse. See what this looks like. So that is, let me first have a look here. Are we at the right thing now? It says dry bush 02. It's not the LOD one. The LOD one is fine. You see that one looks it looks okay, if I can say that. But dry bush LO2, dry bush 02, just 02. There's something wrong with that thing's diffuse, or something with the alpha, or something is not right. So it's this one that we want to have a look at. What's going on here? Alright, so what we have is dry bush LOD 02 diffuse. Okay, so let's go back to our original map. LO2 diffuse, so it is this one here. Let's open this up, see what's spotting here. 1024 by 256. Now if I look at this one, diffuse, there it is. Why do I have a bush 01? Oh, this is the normal. Sorry, I'm confused now. That's the normals for it, and this is the diffusers for it. So there's the dry bush LO202. That's what it looks like. So it's 1024 by 256. So you can clearly see it's been modified a little bit, and it looks totally different. So I'm wondering if this didn't convert properly, because if you look at the original, what it looks like, this is the original, what it looks like. So what I'm going to just do is grab this one, because it's the same thing, they are DDS. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and overwrite the one in my mods folder, FS22 Durango foliage, and then we should have the same thing there. Let's replace it. DXT3, do the bitmaps for it and everything that needs to be done. And now if we now go back here and then just bring this up and reselect this so it can refresh, LOD material. So let's go in here, up in here. You see what the LOD2 looks like now. All these others are, they look different. So I'm just gonna maybe bring them in here correctly. And I wonder if the alphas then is also wrong then. I'm not sure what the problem is here. I'll have to figure it out, guys, and come back to you. All right, guys, I think I've figured it out. Oh my word, you won't believe how simple it is. All right, what I've done, I'm going to close this up without saving for now, just to show you the process. Here in our density files, I've converted, let me go here into data, the two things that has got to do with the fruits. The one is fields and the other one is fruit. So I've done the density map height, that one. I've recreated it with the GLE converter, and then also the density map fruit that I've showed you in the previous few minutes. So now we've got the PNG for that. These two I can actually delete, and that one as well. So there we have the new converted PNG for the fruit, and then also the one for height. And then on this side, I've then done the fruit. There it is, PNG, and then I've done height PNG. All right. And then the next thing I have done in the multi-layer section, the terrain detail height that I've changed is the terrain detail height. I've made it 14. Compression channel 7, and then also 3 7s here. So combined value, the center one is 7, height first channel 7, height num channel 7. And then the important one for the fruits is here. I missed that, I forgot about that. This num channels must be 12, not 10. And then num type index is 6, not 5. And compression channel 6, not 5. All right. And then you save it, open the map, because we've already recreated the GDMs or converted them to PNGs. Now we open the map and we should have no error anymore about the type indexes. So there should be enough type indexes now for all the new fruit. And if you look at this, we've got 12 times 6. So it's 60, it's 72. We should have 72 channels in for fruit, you know. So yeah, something like a coin, and then obviously a few is base channels or whatever, and then they say 64 extra fruits, you know, so it should work out all right. And there you go, all the errors is gone for type indexes. And now, very important, save your map. Don't do anything in the map yet. Save it and then go back and rename your PNGs to GDMs, because now at the moment in the saving process, new GDMs are created for it to export, and we should now close up there, reload it obviously, and go back to the top, click our find our density files, there it is, rename to GDM, M not N. And very important not to make typos like I just did. GDMs. Save it up and into the foliage folder or into the data folder and delete the old PNGs, because now there's our new density map. This one we can delete, and then also our height one. That PNG is the old one. There's our new height file, and that's an old one as well. So that one we can chuck, and this one we can chuck. Density map height. And now if we open our map now, we should have all the new fruits inside the map, and we should have a map that's error free. And the whole process of creating the new density fruits are in all done now. So yeah, what a process. So let's just have a look. If all works out well, we should have a map now that's error free, and we should see the foliages, which is more important. We should have foliages there. So no errors pertaining to our things, except for, doesn't have all the required vertex for dry bush. So what happened now to dry bush? Suddenly it's all back. Oh wait. Okay, so our dry bush LODO2 material is still got a problem. shader. So there's a shader problem in dry bush. So I will sort that out. It's just a matter of fiddling with the shader and getting dry bush material, LO2O2 material, whatever that material is, to work properly, you know. So there you go. And then we're going to have a look at this grasses and things to make it look better in the next episode, obviously. But what I want to show you now is I'm not going to save the map, but now I can obviously now go into my foliage paint mode. Here we go. And I can now select, supposed to be able to select my new fruits in here, which was millet, rye, carrot, millet, hops, onion, poppy, alfalfa, and all those things. So let's have a look at alfalfa. We should have different growth stages for it. So let's do harvest ready and paint some alfalfa here, harvest ready. And let's just go in close. And there's alfalfa harvest ready. Good. So that all definitely works very nicely, except for our dry bush. If I can't get dry bush to work properly, I'm going to just take a dry bush from the in-game and sort of try and fiddle with it until it looks the same. Maybe put some different textures on it, or colors into it, so it just looks a bit different, you know. So we will figure that out in the next episode. But yo, guys, that's been quite a hurdle to overcome. And thanks for watching, and thanks for sticking with me through this thing. I hope it's been insightful. It's been a process, I know, but we have prevailed and we've won. That's what's important, and I hope you can do the same on your side. Well, guys, take care, man. Have a wonderful, awesome day. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.